Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're starting our brand new unit, and in this unit, we're going to be looking at both exponents and scientific notation. So the first part of this is going to be looking at exponents and what they are and how you multiply and divide with multiple exponents. The first lesson today is just an introduction to what exponents are, how you write them, and how you evaluate them. And we will be using Desmos calculator whenever we need to evaluate those exponents. So let's start off. What do we mean by exponents? Well, exponents are those numbers that have the small number up to the right of them. And we call that combination a power. So in this one, we have 1/2 to the 5th power. That 1/2 in this example is called its base. And the 5, that's the exponent. Now, what does that mean, 1/2 to the 5th power? That means that you would have 1/2 being multiplied by itself 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1/2 to the 5th power means that you're going to be multiplying 1/2 by itself 5 times. So our first task is to write exponents. So if you're given a bunch of factors, you're going to write those factors as exponents. So in the first example, we have -7 times -7 times -7. So -7 is written 3 times, which means -7 is my base. And since I have my base, I now have to get my exponent. Well, we multiplied it 1, 2, 3 times. So -7 to the 3rd is my exponent written there. Let's look at this one. There's no numbers expressly written here, but you don't necessarily need numbers to write exponents. I'm going to first look for things that are in common. I have 2 pi symbols that are being multiplied by one another. So I'm going to go ahead and write my pi symbol. That's a base. You can see I have 2 bases, pi and r. And how many times are we multiplying pi? 1, 2. So I have pi to the 2nd, and my other base is r times r to the 1, 2, 3. And if I don't leave a space there, it's indicating that I'm going to multiply them together. So the exponent there would be pi to the 2nd, r to the 3rd. Pi to the 2nd, r to the 3rd. So let's write these two as exponents. First, I identify my base. And this, my base is 1/4. What's my power? How many times am I multiplying it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1/4 to the 5th power. Sometimes with fractions, you'll see that they'll write the base inside of parentheses. That's just to separate the power from the fraction. Over here, in this problem, we can see we have 2 bases. We have 0.03, or 0.3, and x. So I'm going to go ahead and write my base out of 0.3, and I have it 1, 2, 3, 4 times. So 0.3 to the 4th, and then I have the base of x 1, 2 times to the 2nd. So you're just counting how many times they're being multiplied, and that's going to be your exponent to that base. So then our next part, it says to evaluate. When you see the word evaluate, that means it's to solve. It wants an actual number value. So when you see the word evaluate, it wants you to solve that problem. What is my answer? So here you see I have -2 to the 4th. What is my base? My base is -2. And it's important that we see that negative signs inside of the parentheses, because that indicates that my base is -2 and not a +2. So that means that I have negative 2 4 times. Negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2. I'll show you in a bit how to put this into Desmos' calculator. But for right now, negative 2 multiplied by itself 4 times gives us a positive 16. Now let's look at this one. This one's a little different. We have negative 2 to the 4th, but negative 2 is not inside of a parenthesis. What that means is my base is 2, but then the negative sign is going to be put with the answer. So I'm going to end up with a negative answer for this. So my base is 2. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 gives me 16. And since the negative sign is not with it inside of a parenthesis, that means my negative is going to go with my answer for a negative 16. You may encounter that and get more math, and if you do, and you're stuck, just reference this so that you can remember which one is going to be a positive or negative as your answer. If the negative's inside the parentheses, you would just include it with the base. If there's no parentheses and there's a negative, the base is its positive number, and the negative just gets carried down there with the answer. So let's evaluate these two expressions then. And to do this, I'm actually going to bring up Desmos' calculator, so I'm going to make this screen smaller. Let me go back a slide. So I have Desmos brought up over here. And hopefully we can still see the numbers. You should be able to see the numbers still on our slideshow. So I have negative 5 to the 4th. Now the negative is not inside of a parenthesis. So my base is going to be 5. So I'm going to use Desmos, and my base is 5. I'm going to go ahead and put my base in as 5. Now to put my exponent in, and my exponent is to the 4th, this number, or this button right here, says a to the b. Once I have my base in, I can push a to the b, and it gives me a place to put an exponent. And my exponent is 4. I'll move this away. And that gives me my answer of 625. And then you can do the same thing with question 4. Now with question 4, I'm going to use my parentheses for my base. My base is negative 1/6. I know that because the negative is inside of the parentheses. So negative 1/6 is my base. I'm going to use the parentheses. Negative, my fraction, 1/6. Close parentheses. Click outside of it. Now I need that button again for my exponent. And my exponent is 3. My power is 3. So here is my answer to evaluating negative 1/6 to the 3rd. And you'll see it's a big decimal. In fact, this is why we're doing exponents first, because it's going to lead into the need of writing things in scientific notation, which we'll get to several lessons from now. So at this point, let's just take a look at a few more examples. Question number 3 here. It says 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. Write the product using exponents. My base is 3, and I'm multiplying it 4 times, so 3 to the 4th. Number 4, my base is negative 6, multiplying it 2 times, negative 6 to the 2nd. Those are pretty straightforward. Evaluate the expression. That's where we need to solve it. We can again use Desmos' calculator. We put in our base. My base is 5. Hit the A-B button. And my exponent, my power is 2. So that gives me 25. Let's do one more. Let's come down here and do 1/2 to the 6th. Again, for fractions, put them in a parenthesis. I need my fraction button. 1/2, close parentheses, get outside of it. Hit my exponent button, and 1/2 to the 6th gives me 0.015625. So at this point, your homework in Get More Math is going to have you writing exponents. So you'll write the exponent of the numbers that are given. And then you're also going to be solving or evaluating the exponents, the same two skills that we had here in our video lesson. So go ahead over to Get More Math. Yes, you can use Desmos calculator while working on Get More Math. And if you have any questions, reach out to me. If not, we'll see you next time.